welcome everybody. My name is Gloria Dittman, and I'm proud to say I'm president of the Edison Arts Society, and we're thrilled to see so many of you here today. We have a lot of people to thank for making this room so beautiful, and a lot of that goes to Mayor Lanke and his administration, Public Works Department, and certainly Edison TV. They're always here to support us and help us, and we sincerely appreciate it. I want to tell you a little bit about the Edison Arts Society. We're over 20 years old, even though some people may not have heard of us yet. We're hoping to change that. But we've accomplished a lot in the last couple of years. We've given out 18 scholarships to art students, to Edison High, J.P. Stevens, and Middlesex County College. And I'm proud to say that it was given to underclassmen so that it would inspire them to, to continue their passion, which is art, I hope. I also wanted to tell you that next month we're doing a co-production with Miss Doreen's Fabulous Feet. That's a dance studio in Metuchen, and this is the second year we're co-sponsoring, and it is the Nutcracker, and I think that's everyone's favorite this time of year, so I hope you will join us. We have flyers outside. And you know, because we're a nonprofit, we ask that all checks be made out to the Edison Arts Society, so you can claim it as a deduction on your income tax. But I also would like to tell you about an event that we're doing. Not really an event, another way we're appealing to you for money. This is an example of one of the wreaths. There are two others outside, and they, if you like them, please talk to me about them, and we'll see what we can do. Make you happy and us happy too. And it's a really worthy cause. All the money goes to the scholarship fund. There are no fees. Whatever we collect, the kids always get $500. So please consider that. We're very fortunate today to have Mara Levine. Mara has sung for us many times, not only here, but also at the JCC. I see Suits here today, and we love her. Gathering Time has sung for us with Mara at JCC, but this is a first for all of them to be here, and we're so excited about that. I also would like you to be aware that we are exhibiting 3 different types of art today. In the gallery, we have visual arts by our very wonderful director, Miriam Martin. Today, we're going to have music, but we also have things like our wonderful poet, Joe Kelly, who I'm going to ask to come up and do a poem. Yep, okay. You're on.
I'm going to do a poem by Lewis Carroll called Jabberwocky. Probably everybody remembers it from high school, as do I. I chose it because it's different, and also because I don't know that people are exposed to it that much. So there's a lot of interesting things about the poem, not the least of which is that Lewis Carroll invented over 50 words when he wrote the poem. And even though that's interesting, what's even more interesting is several of those words have worked their way into the English language over that time. So it's called a nonsense poem. Most people refer to it as a nonsense poem. It doesn't make sense, the words we're not familiar with. So I'm going to try it dramatically, the way that I hear it, the way that I see it, and ask maybe that we don't get hung up on trying to understand all the words, what they mean, and just go for a little ride with it. So it takes place maybe in medieval times.
Speak into the microphone.
In medieval times, I see it in the woods on the edge of a river, like maybe a tribe of people that lived there. The Jabberwock is a creature that threatens the community. So there's a couple characters. There are the slithy toves. Their name tells you what they are, slithy toves, we don't know. There's borogoves, momraths, jub birds. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. The second word is an ancient word, brillig. And it means a certain time of day. And it means the dusk, when things start to make noise in the woods and happen. So let me catch my breath a little bit. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the momraths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the manxome foe he sought. Then rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, and through. His vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O dubious day, Calloo, Calais! He chortled with his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the momraths outgrabe. A weird ride.
Well, we love passion. Thank you, Joe, very much. And with that, I'm thrilled to introduce Mara Levine and Gathering Time. It's our pleasure that you guys are here today.
Hi, everybody. Okay, well, thank you so much for having us today. Really thrilled to be here. We'd like to start off the set with a song. These are mostly songs we're going to do are from my new CD, especially this set called Facets of Folk. And there's a number of songs of social conscience on the CD. So we're going to start out with a song by Tommy Sands called Daughters and Sons.
Children they can play, and though you never
your daughters and your sons. They taunted you in Belfast and they tortured you in Spain. And in that Warsaw ghetto where they tied you up in chains. In Vietnam and Chile where they came with tanks and guns. It's there you sowed the seeds of peace in your daughters and your sons. In your daughters and your sons. Your daughters and your sons. It's there you sow the seeds of peace in your daughters and your sons. Well, now your music's playing and the writing's on the wall. And all the dreams you painted can be seen by one and all. Now you've got them thinking that the future's just begun. So you sow the seeds of freedom in your daughters and your sons. In your daughters and your sons. Your daughters and your sons. You sow the seeds of freedom in your daughters and your sons. In your daughters and your sons. Your daughters and your sons. You sow the seeds of freedom in your daughters and your sons. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So I'm just so excited to be here. Edison Arts Society has been so incredibly supportive to myself and my family. And I'm really thrilled that my parents are here today, Linda and Harvey Levine, who are very long-standing active members of the Edison Arts Society. And so some of the songs are very special meaning for me and for my folks. So I'd like to do a Bill Stain song from my album called Child of Mine. Sort of dedicate that to my parents and all the parents out there. It's a beautiful song, parents singing to their child. And you know how when a child is born, the parent has lots of hopes and dreams and aspirations for them. Child of mine, you are the break of dawn and the dearest dream I will ever know. Love's lasting light shines out from deep within, from this mother's heart, as I watch you grow.
Child of mine, you are the wildest wind and dearest dream I will ever know. Love's lasting light shines out from deep within this father's heart, as I watch you grow. There is a road, that road is all your own, but we are here. You need not walk alone, to face not fear. Each coming new unknown is the way to lift your wings. Child of mine, you are the sweetest song and the greatest gift I will ever know. Child of mine, where spirits fly above, there is but one that belongs to you. So let it grow, and it will thrive on love, for it is love that sees us through. You have the hands that will open up the doors. You have the hope is waiting for you. Are my own, but you are so much more. You are tomorrow on the wing, child of mine. You are the sweetest song and the greatest gift I will ever know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, dedicated to all the parents out there. And I'd like to introduce my friends gathering time. On my left, Stuart Marcus. To my immediate right, Hillary Foxsong. And on the far right is Jerry McKevney. And those folks hail from Long Island, and they schlepped out to Long Island for us today. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I had to put that in there. So the next song we're going to do for you is I think one of the very most important songs that has been written about the Holocaust. And the theme of the new album, Facets of Folk, has a number of songs of social conscience. And this particular song, we had actually been touring in Europe last year, and we were in Germany. And the song is based on the Reverend Martin Niemöller. And he was a Protestant minister in Nazi Germany who tried to counsel Hitler, and that didn't work. And he then spoke out, and he was ultimately put in concentration camps where he was for 8 years before being liberated. And I'll let Stuart pick up the story there.
Well, when we were in Germany last year, we actually toured the Dachau concentration camp, which is just outside of Munich, and it's now a museum and memorial park. And an awful lot of it is dedicated to explaining how Nazism came to power and Hitler. But it was the first concentration camp, and it became the model for all the ones that followed throughout Europe. And in the VIP section of the VIP building is the jail cell of Reverend Niemöller. And when he was asked how could he, a Protestant minister, full-blooded German, Aryan Christian, end up in a concentration camp, he gave the famous quote that began, "First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist."
And that's really the basis for this song.
I'm not a communist, so when they came for the communists, I held my tongue. Minded my own business like a good neighbor. I trusted that justice was done. I didn't ask what was their crime. It was their sadness, wasn't mine. I didn't care where they were sent. By my silence, I gave my consent. By my silence, I gave my consent. I am not Jewish, and so when they came for the Jews, I had nothing to say. Branded with stars like cattle in boxcars, and then taken away. I didn't ask what was their crime. It was their sadness, wasn't mine. I didn't care where they were sent. By my silence, I gave my consent. By my silence, I gave my consent. I didn't care when they came for the Unionists, came for the Socialists, took the powerless. I'm not a terrorist, I'm not an immigrant, I'm didn't know what it meant for my silence to give my consent, for my silence to be my consent, by my silence give my consent.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that was written by Ellen Buxtell and Nick Annis. They are two Florida songwriters, and I think that they did just an amazing job with that song. So, the next song we'll do for you is one of my very favorites on the album, and I recorded it as a bluegrass track. And of course, we're not a bluegrass band, but we're going to we're going to folk it up for you.
We're a blue shirt band in some
That's
cases.
right. And it's called You Reap What You Sow, and it's got a really beautiful message. And I hope you guys can sing along with us. And by the way, after I do another, this song and one more, then I'm going to turn the floor over to gathering time. Then we're going to have a brief intermission. And after that, we'll come back with poetry and another set. All right? All right.
I once asked the farmer as he toiled in the row to tell me his secret for making things grow. I'll always remember that look in his eye as he studied God's acre and gave his reply. You reap what you sow, so you'd better plan wisely, that the harvest may yield you a bounty of good. You get what you give, so give completely, and all your deeds will return as they should. I once asked the baker as he leavened his bread why he went to such measure to make it the best. Without hesitation, without missing a beat, he put that bread in the oven and said these words to me. Everybody, you reap what you sow, so you'd better plan wisely, that the harvest may yield you a bounty of good. You get what you give, so give completely, and all your deeds will return as they should. Take it, Jerry. So I tended my garden and planted each seed. I nurtured each flower and I pulled out the weeds. I watched as they blossomed and saw it so clear, the truth of those words that still ring in my ear. You reap what you sow, so you better plan wisely, that the harvest may yield you a bounty of good. You get what you give, so give completely, and all your deeds will return as they should. You reap what you sow, so you'd better plan wisely, that the harvest may yield you a bounty of good. You get what you give, so give completely, and all your deeds will return as they should. All your deeds will return so you'd better plan wisely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, what a great space. Isn't this really? It's fantastic. And you guys have done such a beautiful job decorating it for us. Thank
The
you.
curtains are particularly nice.
Yeah. And so let's do one more song of mine, and we'll turn it over to gathering time.
Technically, it's a song of Paul Simon's.
It's a song of Paul Simon's. It's true. It's so true. And Paul Simon, Simon and Garfunkel are among my favorites. I want a show of hands here for Paul Simon fans. Simon and Garfunkel fans, everybody, great.
Just a few, okay.
Just a few. So what I like to do with my recording is I like to take some songs by relatively well-known songwriters and that are less well-known and record them, as well as songs that are written by friends of mine, like You Reap What You Sow, which was written by my friend Susan Shan. That song, again, is something you probably never heard before. Now, I don't know about this one. Song for the Asking. Paul Simon, Song for the Asking. Who's heard this one? I want a show of hands. Relatively few of you, which means I've done my job.
Well, I've heard it because you talked.
Well, yes, but I mean, in the audience, almost everyone raises their hands for Simon and Garfunkel, but Song for the Asking was not on the Greatest Hits album. So it's a really beautiful song, and also one that I actually end the album with, and it's kind of expressing how I feel about this particular project. These songs were a labor of love, and so the last words are, here is my song for the asking, ask me and I will play all the love that I hold inside. So that's kind of how I feel about this. And I grew up, I want to say this too, Mom and Dad played a lot of Simon and Garfunkel when I was growing up, so that's really, I'm very heavily influenced by them. Shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
And Stu, do you have your cable in the right place?
Considering I don't play on this song, yes.
Okay.
It's anywhere I want it to be.
Here is my song for the asking. Ask me and I will play so sweetly I'll make you smile. This is my tune for the taking. Take it, don't turn away. I've been waiting all my life. Thinking it over, I've been sad. Thinking it over, I'd be more than glad to change my ways for the asking. Ask me and I will play all the love that I hold inside. Here is my song for the asking. Ask me and I will play all the love that I hold inside.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to turn the floor over to gathering time.
Well, hello, Edison. So yes, we came a long way from Long Island, and we got an early start to beat the inevitable traffic on the Belt Parkway, of which there was not nearly as much as we usually expect.
It's all being saved for the way home.
Yes.
It's okay, we had time to get Stuart a sandwich.
That's probably correct. So this is a song we're going to start with that I wrote while sitting in traffic one day on the Southern State, which is another lovely Long Island Parkway. Yes. you notice, that one's crossed out and the view written in its place.
You notice these
Happens when there's-
bifocals here?
Yes. So I don't recommend writing songs while you're driving, but in this case I was barely moving, so it worked. 1, 2, 3, 4. Parkway is crawling, we're heavier going. 10,000 more cars are headed there too. The temperature's rising, their horns are all blowing, and all of them seem they're competing with you. You don't even notice the trees and the hillsides, the things in your eyeballs are set to explode. Your dancing fat headache from lead to turn sideways to taking the view from the side of the road. Staring at taillights, staring at pavement, staring at white lines that don't seem to end. Holiday traffic, commuter enslavement, it's almost not worth it to visit a friend. The overlooks turn off the Palisades Parkway, but only the tourists take time to unload. Take in the river, the boats and escarpments, and take up the view from the side of the road. Easily caught in the quest for survival, we run like a rat in a plexiglass maze. Life is a journey, not an arrival. We're off cut short at the end of our days. I'm gonna read some historical markers. I'm gonna take back some time that I'm on. I'm gonna give myself 5 extra minutes to taking the view from the side of the road. Thank you.
Take that.
Take that and that. So some people ask us, what's the difference between a folk band and a folk rock band?
That guitar right there.
Well, one of the differences is the bass solo you hear in the middle of that last song. Very few folk bands feature electric bass solos. The other is the spooky tremolo guitar in this Appalachian folk song that Hillary wrote a few years ago.
You want me to start and everything, don't you? Yes.
Oh, my love is a broken chain that if I had the means to mend would never be so strong again. Oh, my love is a broken chain. Oh, my love is a well-run dry without a drop to satisfy. where I drank deep in days gone by. Oh, my love is a well run dry. Fly now, fly now, and never rest here no more. Oh, my love is a tattered cloth that ne'er will fetch its former worth, eaten up by worm and moth. Oh, my love is a tattered cloth, and oh, my love is a house burnt down, the timber standing bare and brown, left to fall at the edge of town. Oh, my love is a house burned down. Fly now, fly now, and never rest here no more. Oh, my love is a broken chain that if I had the means to mend would never be so strong again. Oh, my love is a broken chain. Oh, my love is a broken chain. Oh, my love is a broken chain.
Thank you. Check, check, check. Hello, microphone.
Nice
Is Mercury
microphone.
still in retrograde? Is that the, that's the deal? Any kind of, they tell you that any kind of communication stuff may be all snafu'd.
Well, why don't we do this one that Jerry wrote about the old railway station in town?
The town I grew up in,
Yes.
actually. But yes, this is a song called Station Song, which, you know, the title does kind of show up, but only obliquely. And I just learned the word obliquely this morning.
And it was a reference to the muscles he was exercising too, so.
I was shocked to find out that I have them. 2, 1, 2, 3. Ancient voices in the night, tears and slamming doors, silence in the morning light. It don't matter anymore. Let it go. Daddy never told you how And Mama, she can't hold you now. Wandering the streets of town while the test station down. Let it go, wish it well. Set it free to let you be. Let it go, wish it well. Call it a day and be off on your way. Angel, turn your homeward gaze on a place grown so strange. How much longer must you pass your days among things you cannot change? Let it go, wish it well. Set it free to let you be. Let it go, wish it well. Call it a day and be off on your way. Love has come to claim you. Love has called you by your name. Hear the echo down the streets of town while the test station down. Let it go, wish it well. Set it free to let you be. Let it go, wish it well. Call it a day and be off on your way. Call it a day and be off on your way. Well, thank you very much. Just realized I might be from enemy territory here in Edison. Why? Because I'm not far from where Tesla worked, you know?
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'll leave now.
Jerry likes to say that that song that we just did works on several levels. It's about preserving the past, but also not necessarily being resistant to change. And we'd like to say that none of us is resistant to change. It's just that.
We have a strong preference for bills.
Yes.
This is the
And
kind
we
of,
have no shame. That's right, you're catching
this is
that.
the kind of thing that goes back and forth in the car for hours while I'm just trying to drive, you know.
That's how we keep her awake. The stress of having to endure the bad puns back and
Yeah,
forth.
yeah.
We'll have lots of time in traffic on
Yes.
the belt.
Ready?
Late in the summer, when the cottonwood dies, the fields are on fire with green bottle flies, and I'm still seeing reflections of me in your eyes. And why did you leave last summer? Now the seasons are changing from summer to fall, and I've still got that picture hung on my wall. And there's so much forgotten and too much recall. And why did you leave at all? I am a little skiff on a great dark sea, and the moon shining down isn't bright enough to let me down, 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 down in my heart. And the waves pick me up, and the waves put me down, and the wind that blows isn't enough to turn me around. Down, 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 down in my heart. And the fishes down below, and the seabirds up above, not a one of them will tell me what to do so far away from your love. I am tossed upon the shore, but I dive back in, and I do not care whether I sink or swim. Down, 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 down in my heart. I am a diver now in the rolling deep. I am looking for a pearl, a memory to keep. Down, 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 down in my heart. And the fishes down below, and the seabirds up above, not a one of them will tell me what to do so far away from your love. I can only see the surface, but the answer lies below, and I wait for you to tell me what I already know. you.
We got just one more for you to do for you.
They don't even know what the name of that one was yet.
Well, we should tell them then.
Yes.
It's called Keepsake. It's the title track of the album. And if we may boast just a little bit, it's an album that was the #1 album with the #1 song, which landed us as the #1 artist of the month that it was released, which was
March
2016 on the folk radio chart.
The
Mara's
song,
on the other
yeah,
hand, yes.
The song that was #1 was not one that any of the three of us wrote, and I think that's good, because then nobody gets to look at the other two and go, well, I wrote the #1 song, so you have to do what I say.
Meanwhile, we should add that Mara's album, Facet of Folk, also was the #1 album with the #1 song, landing her as the #1 artist, also for the month of January 2019.
Hometown girl makes good.
So we've got one more song to do for you this set, then we'll take a break, and then, as Mara mentioned, we'll come back and do it all over again, but with different songs. And this is a song that sort of illustrated the nexus between folk music and pop music back in the 1960s. A lot of folkies were writing songs that became pop hits for others, among them Ian and Sylvia. Anybody remember them? Okay. Sylvia wrote this song, and they recorded it, but a pop group called We Five did a very different version of it, which we happen to love, so we recorded this one also.
When I woke up this morning, you were on my mind. You were on my mind. I got troubles, whoa, whoa. I got worries, whoa, whoa. I got wounds to bind. So I went to the corner just to ease my pain, just to ease my pain. I got troubles, whoa, whoa. I got worries, whoa, whoa. I came home again. When I woke up this morning, you were on my mind. You were on my mind. I got troubles, whoa, whoa. I got worries, whoa, whoa. I got wounds to bind, and I got a feeling down in my shoes, yeah, way down in my shoes. I got to ramble, whoa, whoa. I got to move on, whoa, whoa. I got to walk away my blues. When I woke up this morning, you were on my mind, and you were on my mind. I got troubles, whoa, whoa. I got worries, whoa, whoa. I got wounds to bind.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. So I hope you folks will join us for some refreshments. I have my jewelry. We all have CDs out there. We can chat a little bit. About a 15-minute refreshment break, and then we'll come back for a second set. And I just want to make sure that I thank now and later on the folks that have been so helpful to us. Of course, Edison Arts Society, Gloria Dittman. Would like to also thank Mike D'Amato, who is doing videography, and Ed Colonia as well, doing videography. Thank you. Mary Ann Martin, who helped with refreshments and a lot of the organizing. She does the newsletters. Also, Mayor Thomas Lanke and his staff for providing this amazing space, not just for this event, for all of the wonderful art showings that we have. And Marianne Martin's beautiful artwork, her photography is hung in the hallway outside, so please take time to look at her art. I'm sure those pieces are for sale. And also we have Christine McCann, who helped us with the publicity, and our poet Joe Kelly. So thank everybody for helping to make this a beautiful day. And why don't we get together again in about 15 minutes. So at 3:25, let's reconvene for the second half.
Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to thank you again for coming out today. The music is wonderful, and I'm so happy to see everyone here. Allergy season, excuse me.
I hear that.
I do want to call your attention to the wreath. The Edison Arts Society is having a silent auction at the Nutcracker next month. There are flyers outside. We have Miss Doreen from Fabulous Feet. Her dance studio puts on an incredible Nutcracker. This is the second year that we are participating, and we look forward to it. It's December 15th. And of course, any proceeds from today's event will go to our scholarship fund. Without any fees, no one gets paid. Everything goes directly to the kids. So we're very excited about that because we want to have another Mara and have music get better and better and art get bigger and bigger. And we can only do it if people support us. We also want to thank Miriam Martin for her beautiful exhibit outside, our photographer and visual art director. And having said all of that, remember that we have 3 types of art today. 1 is the music, 2 is the visual art, and 3 is our poet, Joe Kelly.
I want to read a poem that has a little less swordplay and a little less drama than the one from before. It's actually a song, and there's so many songs that are such beautiful poetry. This particular song and poem I picked because I'm always affected by it when I hear it. And there's a couple of really beautiful renditions of it over time. My favorite is one, Roy Clark was a country western singer, everybody knows him. He made this song very famous. It was written by Charles Aznavour.
Oh, yeah.
I believe he was French. Roy Clark made this song very famous in the popular venue, let's say. And he sang it at the end of his career. If you YouTube it, it's the most moving thing that you ever want to see. And the reason I chose it is because every time I hear it, it elicits such strong emotion to me. So I have to be careful to keep the cadence because I always want to sing. And as Gloria just said, I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. So. It's called Yesterday When I Was Young. Yesterday when I was young, the taste of life was sweet as rain upon my tongue. I teased at life as if it were a foolish game, the way the evening breeze may tease a candle flame. The 1,000 dreams I dreamed, the splendid things I planned, I always built, alas, on weak and shifting sand. I lived by night and shunned the naked light of day, and only now I see the years have run away. Yesterday when I was young, so many happy songs were waiting to be sung. So many wild pleasures lay in store for me, and so much pain my dazzled eyes refused to see. I ran so fast that time and youth at last ran out, and I never stopped to think what life was all about. And every conversation I can now recall concerned itself with me and nothing else at all. Yesterday the moon was blue, and every crazy day brought something new to do. I used my magic age as if it were a wand, and never saw the waste and emptiness beyond. The game of love I played with arrogance and pride, and every flame I lit too quickly died. The friends I made all seemed somehow to drift away, and only I am left on stage to end the play. There are so many songs in me that won't be sung. I feel the bitter taste of tears upon my tongue. The time has come for me to pay for yesterday when I was young.
Hi, everyone.
Love that song.
Me too.
I love Joe's choice of material today. So has anybody changed the setting?
All right, well, welcome back, everybody, and thank you again for joining us. And I want to thank my parents, Linda and Harvey, for being here. And thank you. And also for Linda and Harvey and Gathering Time for providing some refreshments for today. Isn't that lovely? Wonderful.
You know what? This song really comes well on the heels of that poem that he just read.
It does. So I mentioned that I'm a huge Paul Simon fan, and the first song that we recorded together, which came out about 9 years ago, 2011, as a single, Leaves That Are Green by Paul Simon. And we put that out as a single for Paul Simon's 70th birthday at the time, and also it was fall, and it happened to become our first #1 hit. We've had several.
On the folk radio chart.
On folk radio, that's right. But you know, it's still a count. It counts. It does. So we've been collaborating together since about 10 years, I guess, recording and doing some performing and touring together. And it's such a pleasure to work with them. Aren't they fabulous? That's right. So.
I was 21 years when I wrote this song. I'm 22 now, but I won't be for long. Time hurries on, and the leaves that are green turn to brown. Once my heart was filled with the love of a man. I held him close, but he faded in the night, like a poet
Thank you so much. Okay, so the next song we'll sing for you is another song from the Facets of Folk album. It's called Be the Change. It's written by my friend Arlen Bennett. And it just basically talks about how each of us has a responsibility to be a positive force for change, a nonviolent force for change.
A woman stepped on a bus like any one of us after a hard working day. She walked halfway back to a seat marked for blacks and took her place. She was someone who really understood how a law could be a crime when she wouldn't give her seat to a white man on his feet. Yes, it was time to be the change you want to see around you. Be the right in a world of wrong. Be the one to make a difference. Be the change, be the change. Many years before, another place, another war, in the struggle to be free, a wise barefoot man had his own plan to fight the enemy. He said it makes no sense to use violence as a means to an end, and we must rise above what they would do to us, or we become like them. So be the change you want to see around you. Be the right in a world of wrong. Be the one to make a difference. Be the change, be the change. It's the pull of a lever. It's the sound of your voice. It's now or never. Oh, it's a choice to be the change you want to see around you. Be the right in a world of wrong. Be the one to make a difference. Be the change, be the change, be the change, be the change.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. We'd like to do another song for you from the new album, Facets of Folk, and as the holidays approach, it's a really beautiful song, and it's actually kind of like a nativity story. It's a traditional tune. It was written by Reverend Ranald Rankin, and he wrote many verses of it was a hymn that it was adapted to a traditional tune, and I selected just a few verses of that. It's been recorded by a lot of people, including Judy Collins, different verses.
My love, my treasured one, are you? My sweet and lovely son, are you? You are my love. babe with boundless gifts of grace. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. My love, my pride, my treasure, oh, my wonder, new and pleasure, oh, my sun, my beauty, ever you. Who am I to bear you here? Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Okay, another question. Who knows Gordon Lightfoot? Everybody. Okay.
Not personally.
Not personally, but y'all know his music. So, do you remember I said in the first set that I like to take songs by well-known songwriters that are lesser-known songs? So I'm going to ask for a show of hands now. Who knows the song Bitter Green by Gordon Lightfoot? A lot less people, right? Maybe not even half. Okay, good. So I'm doing my job yet again. Introducing a lesser-known song by the famous songwriter. It's called Bitter Green, and it's a tragic love story.
This is really what a love ballad means. It's a song that tells a story.
That's right.
Upon the bitter green she walked, the hills above the town echo to her footsteps as soft as eider down, waiting for her master to kiss away her tears, waiting through the years. Bitter green they call her, walking in the sun, loving everyone that she met. Bitter green they call her, waiting in the sun, waiting for someone to take her home. Some say he was a sailor who died away at sea. Some say he was a prisoner who never was set free. Lost upon the ocean, he died there in the mist, dreaming of her kiss.
so much. So I have one more to do in my portion of the set, then I'll turn the floor back over to Gathering Time. And this is a song that was written by Cy Khan, who is a well-known songwriter and activist. And I'm actually going to do one that was written for me for my previous album, Jewels in Harmony. And the whole idea of this song is the joy of singing and harmonizing together, and how that gives us strength and it gives us courage, right, to make change. And he's been an agent of change, so I was very honored that he wrote the song after having opportunities to sing with me and a lot of other people that I like to work with.
Well, the funny story is Cy was giving Mara some career advice, and
It's
since
true.
she doesn't write songs, he
Yeah.
said, why don't you get people to write songs for you? You're well enough known that people will write a song knowing that you'll record it. And Mara said, what a great idea. Cy,
Why don't you write a song for my album? He had actually said to me, since you're not writing, ask people to do, show you their unrecorded work or write for you. And I was like, well, why don't you write a song? And he was a little stunned and taken aback. And then this idea came to him.
Because the arrogance with which you
terrible.
asked. Yeah, she's
Why
such
don't
a...
you
So
write
much
it?
hubris
I
wrapped
did.
up in one 5'3" frame.
But he got this idea and presented it to me. And he said, if you don't like it, we'll still be friends. And then my parents heard the rough demo he made of him singing it, and then they cried because they said that he got who I was.
It's
Shall
true.
we?
It's true.
When I sing with you, my heart skips a beat. That's what you never do. Your rhythm strong and sweet, each note precisely placed. No matter what the key, I begin to trust. When you sing with me, now you sing with us. When we sing together, I hear the world anew. When you sing with me, when I sing with you. That's not hard. When you sing with me, each note is fine and round. I lose all sense of time, lost within the sound. Our rhythms circle close, my harmony breaks through. I am most alive when I sing with you. When we sing together, I hear the world anew. When you sing with me, when I sing with you. When I sing with you. When we harmonize, disappointment disappears. The half-truths and the lies, the hard times fall away. My deepest heart goes free. I am most myself when you sing with me. When we sing together, I hear the world anew. When you sing with me, when I sing with you. When you sing with me, moon and sun align. Each star is a note, and I keep perfect time. My rhythm never breaks, my harmony rings true. I am most at peace when I sing with you. When we sing together, I hear the world anew. When you sing with me, when I sing with you. One more
Thank you so much. So I'm going to make a real quick announcement that Gathering Time is playing at the Troubadour, which was formerly the Minstrel Coffee House in Morristown, on December 27th. And myself and my duo partner, Terry Kitchen, who's another person that I work with, will be opening for them. And so we're going to have all kinds of interesting fun and collaboration. So, check that out. And my website's maralevine.com. And
Yes.
oh, okay.
Well, it's rare that we say this, Mara, but keep talking.
I will. There we go. I know. Oh, he can't help himself. He's always going to put a little zing in there. In any show, there's got to be something. Okay, so again, I want to thank everybody here that has helped and sponsored us. So the Edison Arts Society, Gloria Dittman in particular, for leading the organization for so many years and doing so much wonderful work. I hope everyone saw the beautiful tile mural by Fernando Silva in the front when you walked in and out, and also the sculpture in the sculpture garden. And Ed Colonia for videography, and Mike D'Amato also for videography. Marianne Martin helped us today with bringing some of the food in, but she also does the newsletter and a lot of work. Mayor Thomas Lanke and his whole staff for allowing us to use the facilities here. Christine McCann for helping with publicity, and our poet today was Joe Kelly. So thank you. Give a big hand of applause to everybody, that helped out today. And you guys are good to go.
Very good. Yep. Thank you. Well, this is a song by a songwriter friend of ours named Dwayne Michael Tucker, who now lives in Randolph, New Jersey. 1, 2, 3.
Bonfires burning, the crackle of leaves under our feet. I remember our heartbeats racing, the panic whenever our eyes would meet. I remember the stairways creaking, broken windows in the old hotel, treading a path at midnight, where it would lead no one could tell. Walking down Moonlight Row again, I think about how it was back then, out making music with our friends. You show me what it is to feel. Sometimes into the night I steal, walking down Moonlight Row again. I remember the gravestones glistening, toasting to youth among the dead. We all shared the gift of freedom, their lives behind and ours ahead. It seemed there was magic in the air, the moonlight and stars were everywhere. I chasing ghosts with all our friends. You show me what it is to feel. Sometimes into the night I steal, walking down Moonlight Row again. Walking down Moonlight Row again.
So we just celebrated Veterans Day. this past Monday. Do we have any veterans in the audience? We do. That's right, Frank. We knew that about you. Didn't even need to ask. Well, thank you. And our thanks go out to everybody. And we're going to do a song that Jerry wrote about a veteran that he knew fairly well. Veteran of World War II, of the Europe campaign, D-Day, all that. His dad, who was decorated for service, for valor.
Several
Well-
times, as it turns out.
Well, yes, but that's wonderful, but I have to tune.
Let's all stare at him and make him uncomfortable while he does that.
Well, the thing is, his dad never liked to talk much about it.
That's very true. It's when I preface this song, my father was an immigrant. He was born in Glasgow, Scotland, and came here when he was a year old. And he was drafted and was in Fort Dix, New Jersey, 10 days after his high school graduation. And I'm only learning a lot of this stuff now because he never spoke about it. Didn't realize that, for instance, the D-Day invasion was the first combat he had seen, or any of those young men had seen. They had been in training for it for some time. He was in the tank corps, and I always kind of think of it, they storm the beach, have a smoke. Obviously it was not the case. And he received a Silver Star for something that happened 13 months later, Thinking about that, they kept going for another 13 months, and he was just a kid. I mean, he was, 20, 21 years old. And, but the thing about this was that we live in an era of Facebook and Instagram and all these things. We're drawing attention to ourselves all the time. People are seeking credit for things they didn't do, and so on. And people complain about things like, well, I broke my nails earlier this week, and it has been tough, let me tell you. But my father didn't have the medal on display in the house. He did not talk about it. He didn't use it as a way to, draw attention to himself in our community, though he certainly could have. And I think there's a lesson in that. Someone who served his country bravely and then didn't really seek much in return, just to live the life that he wanted to live. So this is called Silver Star. To say that I knew him, I hesitate. Never talked much to him, then it was too late. So I sift through scatterings in search of clues to this day gathering these precious few. A silver star never saw daylight. A silver star was tucked away in a drawer. He never drove a new car and rarely went out at night. Never asked for one thing, for the silver star. He was born the youngest of 9 in 24. Like the young men of his time, fought the big war, tossed by the merciless tide of history. What he felt inside will remain a mystery. A silver star never saw daylight. The silver star was tucked away in a drawer. He never drove a new car. He rarely went out never asked for one thing, the silver star. What were his dreams and plans? What did he feel when they slipped through his hands? What made him question why? What made him cry? To say I don't know him, it's a bit insane. It's his blood flowing through these veins. Me, I need no more for the knowledge I seek than these things I know for sure, and the volumes they speak. The silver star never saw daylight. The silver star was tucked away in a drawer. He never drove a new car. He rarely went out at night. Never asked for one thing with a silver star. Never asked for one thing with a silver star. Thank you very much.
We're going to invite Mara up to join us for this next song, which is only fair because she let us join her on all of hers.
Yes, it's so much fun.
This is a song that I wrote, and it sort of follows on the heels of Silver Star. This is our socially conscious portion of the show. And it's a song about America taking stock of what it's all about. Let's just put it that way. It's called We've Come Too Far to Turn Back Now. I thought back to all the times that America has stood on the side of goodness and right. It's easy to fall off track, so sometimes a song like this perhaps can help guide us back on. 1, 2, 3. At the wilderness, General Grant, he cried, and all the gallant men who died. And he cast his eyes at 1,000 graves in the great war to free the slaves. But he rose and made a vow, we'd come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now.
Turn back now.
Won't turn back now.
Turn back now.
Come too far
To turn back now.
After the Ardennes, Eisenhower paused at all the sacrifice it caused. 90,000 men, and 500,000 more, to end a genocidal war. But his task was planning how we'd come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now.
Turn back now.
Turn back now.
Turn back now.
Come too far
To turn back now.
In every age there's a fight for freedom and for right. As people rise to say, you can't take these away. Down in Birmingham and in Washington, and the places rights were slowly won. Martin Luther King, so many others killed. See the dream of America fulfilled. And songs of hope they did
defends endlessly human rights and liberty. Now he walks with dread, though he thought it dead, as thoughtless hatred rears its head. As the good book warns, in words so sage, each generation, every age, we must renew our sacred vow. We've come too far to turn back now. Everybody, won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mara. We're going to do a song that was popularized by Peter, Paul, and Mary. Sometimes, being in the folk world, we get compared to. Yes. And this is a song, I'd always thought it was a traditional song. This is one we, like all three of us independently, had like in the back of our minds that someday we should do it. And like one day we were talking and realized that we'd all had it in the back of our minds. So we said, why not? This song I'd always thought was a traditional song. It actually did start out that way, but it was sort of revised and codified, if you will, by Reverend Gary Davis, who I just found out last year is actually buried 1.5 miles from my home on Long Island, so we're going to have to pay a visit. But the royalties he earned on the Peter, Paul, and Mary hit version of the song were enough to enable him to buy a house for the first time in his life, and that was in his 60s. And thinking of this song as being sung by a black man who grew up in the South in the 1930s and 40s and 50s kind of gives it a nuanced layer of meaning that I hadn't really thought about. Back when a black man, if he had any run-in with the legal system, knew he was pretty much going to lose. So he called it Samson and Delilah. We call it If I Had My Way, the way Peter, Paul, and Mary did. 2, 3, 4.
You read about Samson, read about his birth. He was the strongest man that ever lived on earth. Well, one day old Samson was walking along. He looked down at the ground, he saw an old jawbone. He lifted up that jawbone, swung it over his head. When he got to moving, 10,000 was dead. If I had my way, if I had my way in this wicked world, if I had my way, I would tear this building down.
Samson and the lion got in attack. Samson crawled up on the lion's back. You read about this lion killed a man with his paw. Samson grabbed hold of the lion's jaw, and he ripped that beast till it was dead. And the beast made honey in the lion's head. If I had my way, if I had my way in this wicked world, if I had my way, I would tear this building down.
Delilah was a woman, she was fine and fair. She had lovely looks, God knows, and cold black hair. Delilah, she climbed up on Samson's knee, said, tell me where your strength lies, if you please. She talked so fine, she talked so fair. Samson said, Delilah, cut off my hair, shave my head just as clean as your hair, and my strength will be like a natural man. If I had my way, wicked world. If I had my way, I would tear this building down.
Thank you.
That was kind of invigorating.
It is. We're going to have to pay Reverend Gary a visit one of these
I
days.
think so. I want to bring him some flowers or something.
Bring him and sing the song, and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know what?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That would be more appropriate than
Yes.
flowers as far as he's concerned.
I think so, yeah. Well, we've got one more song to do for you all, so, well, you've said thank you. Mara has said thank you for us a number of times, but we'd like to add our thanks to hers, to the Edison
What
Arts
Mara
Society. Yes. And Town Hall here and all the people associated thereof. And
a vibrant arts council is a beautiful thing, and don't take it for granted, folks. It's,
well, a vibrant arts community adds
Yeah.
so much to any town. The best towns to live on Long Island, we can say, are the ones where there's an active arts community. And I'm sure it's true here also. So thank you.
Or if they have,
it looks like you got a heck of a start.
Yeah.
I think it's if they have a vibrant arts community or a brewery. I think that's. I live in the one with the brewery.
There's an art to brewing. We do have CDs outside, as some of you noticed at the break. We also have an email list. We'd love to get your email address on so we can let you know when else we're going to be playing in the area. As Mara mentioned, we'll be at the Troubadour up in Morristown, which is not real nearby, but not out of reach, I guess. 45 minutes? That's worth it for a show you like, right? It's a Friday, I think it's 7:30 or so, something like that. It's on our website,
Yes,
which
it
is
is.
gathering-time.com, or folkproject.org. It's the New Jersey Folk Project that runs that series. And, of course, you can look for us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those places where you can spend time. Yes. You can hear us on Spotify.
You can follow us on Spotify.
That too.
How about that?
We're going to leave you with a rather uplifting, hopeful note as recorded by our unwitting mentors, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and sometimes Young, back in 1970. Carry on, love is coming to us all. 1, 2, 3, 4.
One morning I woke up and I knew you were really gone. A new day, a new way, and I knew I'd see the sun. Go your way, I'll go mine.
Carry on.
The sky is clearing and the night is quite alive. The sun, it comes and the world is organized. Rejoice, rejoice, we have no choice but to carry on. The fortunes of fables are able to see the sun. Now witness all the quickness with which we carry on. To sing the blues, you've got to live the dues. Carry on. Carry on, love is coming.
Thank you once again. We are Jerry McKepney, Hillary Foxhall, I'm Stuart Marcus. This is Mara Levine. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Oh, we've been, an encore has been requested. So one last song.
How
Funny you
curious
should
that you
mention
should mention that.
You'll recognize this one. Okay. You'll recognize this one. It's so appropriate for the weather, too.
Yes.
Season.
Find the right egg combination here. Yes, I think so.
All the leaves are brown, the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray, and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. If I was in LA, California dreaming on such a winter's day. Stopped into a church, I passed along the way. Well, I got down on my knees, and I pretend to pray. I pretend to pray. You know the preacher likes to call. He knows I'm gonna stay. California dreaming on such a winter's day. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray, and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. If I didn't tell her, I could leave today. California dreaming on such a winter's day. California dreaming on such a winter's day. California dreaming on such a winter's day.
Thank you, everybody.
Beggar's blocks and blind man's fancy, Boston corners and beacons light, broken stars and buck-eyed blossoms blooming on the tree of life, quilted by the lantern light, every stitch a leaf upon the tree of life, stitch away